Hey, Shameless fans, we are back this week talking about our episode Los Diablos. We have a lot to talk about, and another arrest for Fiona. Here we go.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
What is up, ladies?
Hey!
How you guys doing?
Good. Happy Shameless Sunday.
Happy Shameless Sunday. And Grammy Sunday for all of you that were like switching back and forth. We have so much to talk about today, as we just teased. Fiona was arrested again, and we have a lot going on. But we also have some really, really good news for you guys coming up later about the future of Shameless and a possible next season. So we'll talk about in a bit. Just stay tuned. I want to dive right into it, and I want to dive in with the Hobo Loco Man competition because I did enjoy this entire storyline. We knew Frank was going to be really, really good at this Hobo Loco competition. We didn't really know what the competition was going to be. So let's talk about, what they were doing and what you guys thought of that whole scenario.
I was super pumped about this because Guzman is one of my, I love him as an actor, so I think, again, fabulous casting on this character. I like to see somebody who is like equally as shameless as Frank, and to have them, I didn't see that coming, so this was a great surprise for me.
Yeah, same right there with you. I mean, what a great little cameo, and I really hope we're going to see more of him.
Yeah, I think we will. He's been tweeting tonight too, Luis Guzman. If you want to go look up his Twitter, he had some funny pictures and stuff that he was throwing out there. But yeah, I actually didn't expect, I said, I think a couple episodes ago, oh, that's going to be a shoo-in, like he'll be totally fine. So I do like that he has to actually compete for it. And I thought it was funny that there were like sorority girls and stuff that showed up to try to do the competition. And I was proud of the one that ate that dirty sushi.
Yeah.
That was great. That was not dirty sushi. That was like inhumane sushi. Are you kidding
those
me?
Cockroaches, even just like, I don't even go as far as to like eat leftover fish. I'm just weird about fish in that way. I don't mind leftovers, but oh God, sushi out of a garbage can, and then if it has bugs on it, I'm like, yeah,
Cockroaches.
that's a no.
That same thing.
Yeah.
Other level of bug.
Yeah, I know, you're right.
Oh, that's so gross. That's so gross. What do you think is her motivation? I still don't know why some of them are there.
Well, I guess, I feel like for the like the sorority girls, it's just being Insta famous.
Yeah.
Like, they just want the notoriety, not the
guess.
money, whereas these other guys are like, I need the money.
Yeah, they want the followers and the Insta
How
fame.
about the two employees of Hobo Loco, the ones that are always like, we're doing this, we just got 400,000 views, oh my God, and then we see people like being pulled out on stretchers, oh, another alcohol poisoning, number 4 today, and they're just like totally shameless about it.
In a bag, not only just like, oh, going to the hospital, people are literally dying and they're looking at their phones. It was just such a like metaphor for what's going on with the world right now. Just people are obsessed with their phones and losing all sense of human decency. It was
It's really
definitely
true.
shameless, but it hit a chord because it's very close to home, honestly.
Yep.
This is the kind of shameless that I like. It is commenting on things that happen in society, like you're talking about. But these two, like, it felt like a, like a comedy, like a movie. Kind of that casting as well. So I just thought it was fun. It was really well done. I welcome this kind of shameless back.
Yeah, we had a lot of guest stars on today, on today's episode that were good, and we'll talk about, how the big ending in a little bit. But, another who is a guest star at least this season and a series regular right now is Ingy. Are we still liking her character and storyline, or are we, because we see her this week getting morning sickness, and she's like, really starting to kind of encroach on the Gallagher's home a little bit. So what do we think about all this?
I like her. I still. I mean, it's crazy.
Do you like her character, or do you like her as an actress? Because I know that we both love her as an actress.
It is hard for me to separate because I do love her as an actress. I like that the ex is back, so that adds another like dimension because he's crazy too, and the fact. So I like that it's taking it to another level. I mean, do I want her to be having 6 kids? No way, It's like she needs to be real about this. But
I don't even
Poor
want
vagina.
Yeah.
Not even that, just even another Gallagher, just not a good idea. I don't even want Frank having one baby. I don't even want having a pet. Like, I don't want Frank owning anything.
Yeah,
True.
anything that lives and breathes and can
No
die.
plants,
nothing. Well, and she even asks Debbie, maybe more than once this episode, like, oh, Frank can turn around. Frank will be there, right? He'll come around. And she's like, not a chance, you crazy lady. And that's totally true. Even Frank, when she said, oh, you can get a job, it's no big deal, he was like, yeah, nope. So do we think that the ex-husband is going to help in, changing her path? I mean, we saw the doctor come in, so he brings the doctor in, which I absolutely loved her little cameo this episode. I like that she went all, what did she call it, North Korea on her? Yeah. And she will put her hand up there and grab those embryos out herself. But yeah, I don't know. Like, the whole thing's a little crazy.
That was so funny. Yeah. And it was also funny seeing just Fiona just kick back and drink and just laugh at this whole ordeal happening in her kitchen. It was so absurd.
Yeah, that was good. I like those moments with Fiona, even though you're like, oh, I really wish she wasn't super, super wasted right now. You are kind of like, yeah, that's really funny. That's really funny. All right, well, we'll see what happens with her, and we'll save some of that talk probably for predictions.
Ooh, sounds good. Before we move on, one question.
Yes.
Do you think that Sally girl on the phone is going to be calling her again?
Oh, yes. Let's talk about that just for a second, because that was really funny. She's still doing sessions without her meds, and she's totally crazy. She's doing a fake tea party with stuffed animals as she's trying to help somebody with their life. Like, what do we think about this?
Well, and I forget, and maybe I missed this. What happened to her office? Did she just leave?
We don't know. She just never went back.
Okay.
I think. I don't think we saw any reason for her to leave. I think
I was just wondering why she just wasn't. I'm just not going to go to the office. I'm going to work from home.
And maybe now when Debbie's telling her she needs money, she's like, okay, well, I'll just keep some phone clients. I don't know. Yeah. It's crazy. But yes, that was really funny. Really, really funny. Thanks for bringing that up. Okay, cool. Let's talk a little bit about Keven V. What? What's your first reaction?
I just love them. They mean so well. They really do.
They do. Especially Kev. He's always the one that I think his heart is what moves him to do things, whereas V definitely thinks about it a little bit before, but because he's always like, nope, we're doing it, whatever, then she does come around too. And so we did see them really take to Santiago and start to really enjoy that fostering process, which was nice to see.
Watching Kev try to dress him up like him was amazing.
I know, and how funny he had all those extra rings and chains, and that was perfect.
Yeah, and Santiago's like, it makes him feel good, just let him do it. Yeah.
Liam's like, you look like a cheesy American. But yeah, Kev really wants a son and wants a bigger family, and so it's nice to see them, but it's easy to forget that Santiago has an entire family and that, it's still not the ideal situation for him. So we find out that his sister is going to be coming in, and that we think that she's going to be fostered as well by Keven V. And when she shows up, we find out that that's not the case. They're going to go back to Guatemala and be with their father, who was deported. So what do we think about this whole situation? And then we'll get to Amy, because Amy and what's her sister's name? I'm drawing a total blank.
Gemma.
Gemma, thank you. Amy and Gemma. Oh my gosh, sorry. Yeah, we'll get to them because they were hilarious.
They were really hilarious. I was kind of saddened by this whole storyline because although, I do understand them going back home, I would have liked to have that dynamic carry on for at least a couple more episodes.
Sure.
Especially with this new character, the sister coming in. I think that they could have played with that a little bit more. It was too soon to move on, in my opinion.
Okay.
I have to agree with that. Like, I was liking kind of watching Santiago, and I really like him and Liam, together. So, yeah. So
that was a good dynamic.
I would wanted a couple more episodes of them as well.
Yeah. So what did we think about Gemma and Amy? We find the two girls beating the crap out of Santiago. They literally duct taped his ankles and his wrists together, and they were beating him with their, plastic bats or whatever. And Keven V had a hard time figuring out what to say to the girls. We did see a really funny exchange with Kermit and Tommy and those guys in the bar, trying to figure out why they were doing it. And do you think that kids pick up on those racist comments that they were all making, they're a different brown-skinned guy in the house, they don't want them there? Do you think kids even realize that or kind of know what's going on?
I don't know if they have. Go for it.
I don't know. It's a hard topic to talk about, and clearly they're all jumping at the opportunity. No, it's tough, but it's an honest question that I have because I don't know, and I've never had kids, and I would think that it's something that's learned and not innate, but I have no idea. And maybe they are just jealous. We didn't actually ever get an answer. Do you want me to keep talking until you guys just? No, I'm just kidding.
I think that. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's definitely a lot of jealousy there because there's this new person who doesn't speak the language, who it's also attention taken away from them. Think of how much Kevin B have had been consumed by him just because they're trying to have him adapt. So I understand. I think it was mainly jealousy. But what I thought was just so funny is that, again, the duct tape, these are little girls.
Yeah, like how did they get that idea?
To get that idea. And then him also, I know there's two of them, but still, he's probably too nice to fight back. So I thought they were playfully fighting, but no, duct tape's intense. Next level stuff. Did you and your brother ever do stuff like that to each other?
Oh, we did bad. So
I was gonna say JJ's the wrong person to ask. I think we might get some good stories over there.
My brother cracked me in the head with a ping pong paddle, and literally like gushed blood like everywhere.
Oh my God, he must have hit you so hard because they
it was from across the garage. You threw it like that, and like it. But I got lucky because I actually turned my head because it would have hit me right. Actually, it was the side. Would have hit me right in the temple, which was.
Could kill you.
Yeah, but I turned, and so it smacked me right here, and then blood in our garage.
Were you guys the same age as the girls?
He's 3. No, we were. I was
15 and 16.
I was in 6th grade, and he was in 8th grade.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
But at that age, the girls are what? They're like 6.
Even younger.
Even younger.
I think they were like maybe
that
4.
violent behavior.
It didn't happen. We didn't get violent until we got older. We still liked each other early on.
That's really good.
That's why I'm saying these little kids, like, they're cute, but it's kind of scary that young that they're so.
Well, I'm not buying it. They couldn't have got him down and get the duct tape on him.
Well, V did make a comment about how Catholic school was supposed to make them a bit calmer, but it's obviously not working. And that means they still have not figured out that they're 2 different girls.
Yeah.
Is that crazy? We're almost a whole season in. Like, this is supposed to be, what, a year almost? It's, it's so funny.
That's how much teachers are paying attention. All right, let's move on from them. Let's talk a little bit about Carl. Carl's got a new job today.
Oh, Carl.
Carl is... At least he's getting a job. He's not ashamed to work a minimum wage job. He kind of understands that, he can't put drug dealer and stuff on his resume. So he's spinning signs in front of the shrimp joint, which I thought was funny that he couldn't spin the sign because if you guys have ever been in LA, there's people spinning these signs like everywhere, but they're amazing at it. I thought that there was like a post or something on the back that allowed him to just do that because they've got some skill.
They're like flip them and stuff.
So high up, and then they're like twirling and doing all this stuff. It's like gymnastics.
It is.
It's a crazy skill. If you're ever bored, go down the YouTube rabbit hole.
They have a bunch of videos of those people.
Sure.
Yeah, that's true. So he's got this new job, but his old drug dealer comes by and shakes him down because he thinks he's working a street corner undercover, and he's like, "Dude, I promise, it's just shrimp." Funniest part about this entire storyline is absolutely his manager at the shrimp joint.
Creepy,
It's kind of interesting and I think amazing to see the sexual harassment the other way around because a lot of times people think that doesn't happen and it absolutely does. So it was fun to see her like grab his head and put it into her boobs when she was trying to console him and just like, the way she was grabbing his hands was so weird.
Yeah.
It was so weird.
Yeah. It was really entertaining though, which is messed up to be saying about sexual harassment in the workforce.
Agreed.
But yeah, I think that's a great point. We don't necessarily. I think that's where the humor stemmed from because you don't necessarily see it.
Yeah.
But it's not okay because also, think of
And
the
he's so
age
young.
difference.
Yeah.
Exactly. So. That was very inappropriate.
Yeah,
It was
and she's
kinda
very
funny.
determined to keep him there. Too.
Well, and he wanted to quit, but he's coming back tomorrow because I think he didn't know how to say no. So, what's the worst job you guys have ever had? Just quickly, and then we'd love for you to comment on YouTube too, because there are some great stories.
My worst job for sure, but I did it for years, is corn detasseling. So people that
What's
grew up
that?
in the Midwest, one of your first jobs you start when you're like 13, 14, you have to get up at 4 a.m. and you have to go out to the cornfield and you ride a smelly bus because people eat their lunch. You do it for about a month. They eat their lunch and then they just throw the shit on the ground on the bus. So there's like bread. And by the end of the 4 weeks or 3 weeks, it smells terrible. Anyway, you go to the cornfield at like 5:30 a.m. You're out there and you have to walk up and down corn rows, and you pull. There's a tassel on top of a corn stalk.
And you have to pull it off.
Every single one.
Do they have a machine that does that now?
Now some fields have a machine. A lot of they don't like the machines because it actually damages a lot of the corn, and so it's better to have people actually walking through and doing it. So a few times we did get the machines, and that was like heaven. But yeah, otherwise, and then in the morning it's cold and damp, so you're just soaked and you're muddy. But then it gets later in the day, then it's really hot, so then you get like sliced and cut by the corn stalks. So it's absolutely the worst job ever. But I am so glad that I did it because
made you strong.
It made me strong.
I think that's worse than Carl's job. I think that's worse than Carl's job.
That's way worse than Carl's job.
Definitely worse than Carl's job.
You got a bad job? No.
Not after that.
Yeah,
what's your least favorite though?
I can't really say on air.
AfterBuzz TV. Just kidding.
But maybe sometimes like babysitting. I've had some kids I've had to watch over where I was just like, you little demon children.
Los Diablos.
Especially it's always the ones that look so cute, like they belong in a magazine, one of those Goldberg commercials that are just so manipulative.
Yeah. Well, we actually do really love our jobs here, and we'd like to keep our jobs here, and there is a way for you to help us do that.
Yes, please do, you guys. Come on. But, I mean, before we move on to the next topic, we just wanted to say thank you so much for helping us be the ESPN of TV talk, and for us to continue to grow. We could use your help. If you're on YouTube right now, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. And if you're on iTunes, please give us a 5-star rating.
Yay, 5 stars.
5 stars. But no matter where you are, leave us a comment so you can get involved in the conversation. Being part of AfterBuzz TV has been so much to all of us, and we truly appreciate your support. And you really, truly support us in doing what we love.
Yes.
Don't forget to tell your friends and keep enjoying our shows.
Thanks, guys. Perfect.
Thank you.
Let's talk a little bit about Deb's, because her storyline actually all of a sudden is about to evolve into Carl's storyline. We had a little moment today, but first, Debbie is still really taking her role as like the housekeeper very seriously. She gets this ad in the paper that's talking about checking for carbon monoxide, making sure that you're vacuuming the lint out of, the vents and stuff so that it doesn't catch on fire. All this stuff.
Which I have to say, sorry, I was kind of like, what? Like, I don't do that. Like, well, I'm not a homeowner, but I was just a lot of things that made me. Did you guys have question anything in your house going on?
The vacuuming out of the thing, because I have that whole thing coming out of my dryer too, and I was like, ooh, I wonder if that's. And I'm renting it. Yeah, I'm like, I wonder if that's ever been done in that house.
I know. I think it also depends on the age of the house too, and I think obviously the older the home, the more upkeep there's going to be. And no, I've been renting now forever. That kind of stuff is just taken care of by a landlord. So no, the carbon monoxide I knew because we always did that at home, and they always made that a huge deal back in like cold weather, areas because that's a huge issue. But I did not really know about the lint. I just assumed you took the lint out of the dryer thing and threw it in the garbage, and that was like good to go.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, okay, well, good to know. House safety tips. If you have any others that we're too dumb enough to know about, please let us know. So yeah, she takes that very seriously. She even drains the tub, which is awesome. Yeah, I mean, she's like down and dirty, which I really love about her. She's not grossed out about anything, which I guess as a Gallagher, there's like not much to be grossed out about anymore.
This is someone who cut her own toe off also.
Yeah.
She had someone else do it, but she was going to do it herself.
Still, would you let someone cut your toe off?
No.
Absolutely not, unless you are under massive amounts of anesthesia. So I really like that she's, taking care of the house and all that kind of stuff. But then when she goes to check the carbon monoxide, she crawls under that little, whatever that thing is called.
Crawl space.
The crawl space. That's easy enough. The place you crawl, the crawl space. And she gets stuck. Her pants get stuck on something right after she pulled the gas line, and now she could, I guess, technically asphyxiate herself.
For sure. And then blow up the house as well.
Right, and blow up the house, yeah. So we get lucky that Kelly is around to hear her yelling, because Ingrid is no help.
Yeah.
With all the people in that house, like no one could help. It had to be Kelly, who happened to walk outside the house.
Right.
Think of how many people were there. Was Fiona, there was Ingrid's ex-husband, and Ingrid's doctor. That's 4 people. And this poor Debbie is screaming like, help, help. And they're just crazy.
Ingrid even heard it and couldn't put it together.
Yeah, she was like, Debbie, where are you? Yeah.
I thought actually for a second we might have a bad Shameless moment. Like I thought, could this go? But yeah, because it's not good.
Well, because I think we've said with the main, the Gallagher family, there hasn't been that type of moment to where we're all going to be like, no,
like crying. What's the time you were crying, sobbing? Think of all the times that Shameless has done that, where you're literally shaking. You're like, why?
Yeah, totally.
We haven't had that in a while. I thought she was gonna lose the babies. I was with you on that one. I thought it'd be like some kind of blow up situation.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm glad it wasn't, but she did. So Kelly told her, just take off your pants, dude, and crawl out. And she was like, oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But when she came out in her underwear, Kelly was like, oh, hey, nice ass, and slapped her on the ass. And you could tell Debbie was like, oh, I liked that.
Yeah.
Yep. She
did you
did.
think
There was
about
some
that?
sexual tension there for sure. I definitely saw it on Debbie's side. But was Kelly just like kind of messing with her, or was she giving her a little something? What do you think?
I felt it was on Kelly's side. I don't think she was like thinking like, oh, I'm attracted to her. This is high. I think she was just like, she obviously works out and has been in shape and stuff. So I think she was just like, hey,
Well, and
nice
I think
ass.
Kelly definitely has a manly energy.
Yes.
Like not in a bad way or anything, but she's definitely a tomboy, and like that type of thing, like locker room type of stuff would come fairly naturally to her. So yeah, I don't think she was doing it for any specific reason, but I definitely could see Shameless moving into the, that whole realm of sexuality. So I don't think that's off the mark. Okay, let's talk a little bit about Tammy and Lip. I really liked them today. What is your overall thoughts of these two right now?
I feel like we're getting a more tamed side from Tammy.
Tamed Tammy.
Tamed Tammy, which I enjoyed because, as you guys know, if from past after shows, I've complained about her maybe once or twice that she might annoy me, and I'm starting. This is starting to rub off on me. I think we're starting to see the facade of this like I don't give a crap type girl is kind of shedding little by little, and she does care about a lot of stuff. She cares about the old people. She cares about the young people. She cares about Lip. Like, I'm into it.
Yeah, completely agree with you. I thought, I was on your side too, that I didn't like her early on, and I didn't like her for Lip. But now that I really enjoyed the two of them this episode. I like seeing them just on what they called a boring day and seeing, what they would do together. I liked them just in the shower, doing each other's, washing each other's hair.
Yeah.
I just thought that these was a good side to see of this relationship,
Yeah.
And I
I
liked,
agree.
she was funny with let's talk about the handsy old lady that kept grabbing lipstick.
That was by far my most favorite part of the entire episode.
Same. That's gonna be me in a nursing home for sure. I always say this. I can't wait to be like in a nursing home and just like not give a F.
little. Because, right?
Just do it. Like literally have so many boyfriends. Try all the
Except
drugs.
for that
like-
one lady had a boyfriend, and Tammy's grandma, the whore, slept with her, and she will not
Hey,
forget it.
nursing homes are not the time to be monogamous. Let me tell you.
Well, they have the
They're
highest
not,
STD rates.
I know.
so
that's why you
very
gotta
true.
get it on in nursing homes.
Yeah, honestly, I know. When not that my grandma's 86 and she's like killing it. She acts more like she's 70, and she'll make comments like, "Oh, I can't do that." I'm like, Gram, you're 86. Why in the hell are you censoring yourself from doing anything? Like, go do
right.
whatever the hell you want to do.
Damn right.
Agreed.
So I'm all about her grabbing
Lipstick.
I do the same thing today. So
Well, good to know. Hopefully we can have him on as a guest, and we've got a desk and just
we're
things.
definitely not gonna get fired from this network if that happens. Anyways, moving on.
Not if he consents. Okay. So yeah, these two are good. I agreed. I really liked seeing that Tammy volunteers on her days off, and there's a lot of good things that she can bring to this relationship too. Yep. Biggest bomb drop of the episode, I think anyway, is Zan is back.
Are you surprised by this though?
What was your immediate reaction when he was like, Zan?
Immediately was just like, oh no. I think, oh no. Yeah.
Mine was no.
Yeah.
I know you said that so loud.
Yeah.
This is probably messed up because my first thing was like, well, duh, of course. I honestly saw this coming.
Yeah.
Not that it would happen within this season. I just, looking back when that whole storyline kind of came to a conclusion, I was like, oh, that's not gonna, all of a sudden she's gonna show up and be a great mom. I don't really buy that. And then all that cash also was not, I didn't think it was a smart idea because you're taking a woman who has nothing and who's known to take to scheme, to get cash, to get drugs, and you're giving her a wad of cash, like so much cash.
Yeah.
I knew that was, she wasn't gonna like, oh, let me invest it and make good choices.
Yep.
So, I remember.
Did she ended up getting that cash? I
Yeah.
thought it was a trade for. I thought Lip was going to pay her to get
Didn't
Zan.
he drop it?
He was. That's exactly what happened. Yeah, that was his whole plan. But then Zane showed up, and so then she ran to her mom and hugged her, and
Oh, right,
then
and then
Lip
he was like,
realized he was like,
you're right.
"Oh, you need your mom," and he just like freaked out and he threw the money.
You're right.
And ran off. So I'm double disappointed because A, mom's definitely not displaying any good behavior, and B, all the money and effort and everything just gone.
Yeah, he could use that money, and they could use that money with the house right now.
Exactly. There's so
Or
many
for
ways they
Zan
could
now.
use it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for the rent and everything they've been talking about. We find out Zan's been sleeping at not even sleeping, it doesn't look like, but staying at a truck stop because her mom works there sometimes.
Which also, what does that mean? Her mom works there? Like,
Yeah.
we all got that.
Yeah. And you know, they're alluding to the fact that she probably was touched and sexually assaulted, and it's like so hard to talk about that when it comes to anyone, but kids especially. It's like it's just a no, And I so it was hard to.
It's so
hard to watch. I do like that Tammy was taking a big sister type of approach instead of Lip because he is so emotional and so emotionally attached to her.
He's so close to her. There's so much history there too, and it's a lot. And I really appreciated with Tammy. Like, think of it. She didn't have that much information, right? She just saw this little girl. She doesn't know much. I don't know if they've ever talked about this. I doubt it, honestly. So I thought it was really good how she's like, "Yo, you're scaring her. Like, let me take care of this." So I'm telling you, I'm like turning a corner with her. I'm like, okay, you've impressed me this episode.
Good. Let's move on to Fiona because we've got some great news and stuff to talk about. So, Fiona was arrested again. That's my song. That's kind of all I can say. No, so Fiona is not only arrested this episode, she's also fired from her job this episode. She gets a big scare because 3 creepy guys, super sketchy guys, come into Patsy's to shake her down or rob her or whatever, and she locks up Patsy's, which is supposed to be a 24-hour diner, because she's scared, which I get, but because she was drunk, she passed out and didn't open until way later in the morning when they were already supposed to be open. And we see Boss Lady come in and fire her and tell her, "I'm glad you've turned a corner. You should be working on yourself, but not under my watch." So what do we think about this whole situation and her yelling at the employees and blaming it on them and all that kind of stuff?
I mean, it wasn't too surprising that she acted the way that she did, because think of like the way she's been acting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was kind of unfortunate that it seemed that she was trying to turn a new corner, and she was just like, oh, she threw out the bottles, and but it's something that she's gonna actually, like many things in life, you have to work really hard at, and it can't be a 20-minute thing. So I don't know. What do you think, TJ?
Yeah, this was also very disappointing for me because I like seeing Fiona when she was getting her shit together and she was running apartment buildings, and this one was tough to watch because I just don't want to see her just keep downward spiraling,
Yeah.
So it's like it was really sad that it wasn't enough that she completely lost her job, but then to rally up, you knew once she found out about the lemonade stand that, oh no, this was going to be bad, So,
Yes.
so to be so angry and yes, she has every right to be angry about that and the way that woman was, but again, you just never learn how to handle things.
You just
can
don't
have
jump a fence and pop someone in the face.
You don't have a
just
block
can't.
party and then go,
Or they would have been fine with the block party, because if the cops came, they would have been like, everyone disperse.
Yeah.
But that one step further of, really hitting that lady, and she got her good.
Yeah.
Oh my God, she
Right
hit
in
her
the face.
hard. I was hoping she got away when she started running, but it was really very shameless of them how when he pulled her back out, they were all like, boo!
Yeah.
So just those reactions were funny. I would like to ask that for our predictions today, because it's getting towards the end of the season, and I have really no idea where they're going with her storyline, that we all take a guess specifically on how we think her storyline may progress or end. So let's get into predictions.
And now,
That's
your
very tough.
AfterBuzz
It's tough,
TV.
but we're getting very close here.
We really are.
We are.
I'm
We're getting
sorry,
close,
yeah.
and I don't know where it's going, because I said earlier I'll be disappointed if it ends with her kind of just going to jail, or she's still on this
I got
path.
one.
Okay, go JJ.
Okay, not jail, but I think she is just. I think maybe a rehab facility.
Okay.
What do you think?
I want that. I want some sort of happy ending, but unfortunately, I don't. I see her, as we saw in the previews, she is in like a random motel with people. I see her just kind of going from city to city, town to town, kind of like her mom was doing, you know, just scheming her way through life. I don't see a happy ending, unfortunately.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, I actually kind of don't see it, but maybe I just could feel it happening, because Fiona has always had a guy. Always.
Yeah.
And I just see her story starting with Jimmy Steve and ending not with him, but with someone to where he, you know, takes her away, and that's kind of why she's leaving. I just feel like Fiona to end as single doesn't feel right to me. But I don't know. We'll see.
Would you want Jimmy Steve to come back?
I mean, listen, yes, because I always loved him, and just But I don't think they will, because of the cameo we got with Cameron and Mickey and that reuniting.
Yeah.
I don't think they can do it again.
Yeah,
I feel like. Go ahead.
No, go for it. Go for it.
I do, and I feel like my rehab one that's just too boring too. Like just to have
But it
her
could
go
happen
out that way.
It could happen, because they said they left it open. So
Who, out of all the boyfriends that she's had, who would you want her to end up with?
Gus.
Dermot Mulroney.
Oh, yeah.
Who?
I liked him too. But
Dermot Mulroney's character, just because I love him.
Yeah.
She was going to marry him.
No.
then
He was
he's the one.
he was no.
Well, he was a heroin addict.
Well, and then
But
he got.
it's Dermot Mulroney.
But then he got clean with someone else super quick. No.
I
Gus
know.
was a good
Gus,
guy.
the
Gus didn't
husband?
do anything. Yeah.
The husband. That's what I said. I really liked him. I thought he was really sweet. She just screwed him over.
Yeah. It was
Fair
an
enough.
old Fuck Fiona song.
Yeah.
Well, he got upset, obviously, as he should. And like, no, he
Yeah.
was a good option for her.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I like the music side. I liked,
He's just so
good.
hot.
He is hot.
And he's dating Jenna Dunham. What's her
Yes.
Jenna
Dewan.
Dewan.
name? now. So
I have to stop myself from saying Tatum.
I know.
Okay, we've got some awesome news and gossip, so let's talk about it.
He was on Bumble briefly too, just so you know.
Really?
Bumble?
Did
He
you
was
find
on
it? Did you
Bumble.
guys match?
Oh, I freaking swiped on that shit, but I never got a response.
He probably has like 100,000.
Right?
today.
Everybody's like, Gus!
That's incredible. Okay, guys, it's official. Shameless has been picked up for a 10th season, which means we're going to be back. But JJ,
I just kicked
what
him
are you
again.
doing over there?
Sorry. I just
No,
kicked
it's
him.
okay. So we're back for a 10th season, and you've got
And we
some
got some news. Cameron Monaghan is coming back as well. So he spoke. Yeah, they spoke and they came into agreement and talked about where he wanted, like maybe they could do, they could have his character go and things he would like to see. And he said they agreed on some things creatively and financially. So it sounds like his needs were met, and so he'll be coming back.
yeah,
I
love
love
that. And if you guys at home want to read more about that article, it's on the Boston Globe.
Sweet. Well, that's all for us today. We'll be back next week. And I am talking with someone right now, a guest that will hopefully be on in a couple weeks here. So stay tuned for that. Guys, quickly, where can they find you on social media?
You can follow me at JJ Jurgens, JJ.Jurgens, on Instagram, and you can follow me at TomGirlTV.
Make sure to watch her show.
Yes, please do. She's the awesomest producer.
Yahoo!
Tuesday nights at 6 p.m.
There we go. And you can also, if you want to, follow me on Instagram at Bonjour Juliette.
You want to. And you can follow me at Haley Clover everywhere. Guys, don't forget to subscribe and comment below so we can continue the conversation. And we'll see you next week. Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.